Well, this is going to be something. That's all I can say about it at this point. I'm going to show you a road and give you a map. Then let you decide if you want to follow that road. It may challenge all you know, all you think you know, and believe. But believe it or not, it's real. This is episode 15. I call it the mind-body connection and more. Let's go. Welcome to the C Word Podcast. I'm Semaj, and I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite creator. Don't let the name fool you. The C, as you will find, is all about you. What we desire to do here is create a conversation around my book, The C Word, and some of the principles behind it, to lead you, the seeker, on a journey of freedom. Freedom from limiting thoughts, borrowed beliefs, and false perceptions. A journey of self-truth. If you're already on a path, then it's to help bring clarity on the journey. I've walked the path. I can help you identify the walls you've built and the ruts that you're in, and give you some tools to create a new life. I'm a hands-on healer of energy and light, teacher of my own integrative flow technique. I'm a student of the universal law of one, and a certified life coach, helping you to get clear your direction. I'm called father, husband, grandfather, Sifu, and guru. I'm on this journey with you. We are one. My desire is to live this quote, which simply says, "The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see." Let's begin. What do you want? Why don't you have it? How do you feel physically today? When did you decide that? Who tells you your self-worth? Who's it supposed to be? Whose permission do you need to be a better, you fill in the blank? And why is that? When I ask these questions, did you feel your body respond just now? Or did you react to the thought of the possible answers to those questions? All of the questions are valid, but I want you to focus on is the body's reaction. The connection between what you're thinking to what you're feeling, it's real. It's instantaneous. It's a lot deeper than you realize, and hopefully, by the time we finish here, you'll start to understand that you have more control and choices than you may even want to admit. As I mentioned in the last episode, my journey is about healing. Healing the human trifecta, the mind, the body, and the spirit. My technique is about helping my person to be balanced. If one of the three is lacking in that person or overpowering, then there's an unbalance. In the beginning, it was this mind-body connection that I began studying and mapping for this, what I call flow technique. So, lesson 1. All things in my mind, everything begins with a thought. This rule applies to every person and everything you see, smell, touch, etc. Your culture, beliefs, your hopes and dreams and fears are all but sparks in the mind of countless others and yourself. Now, I need lesson 1 to be real, so that lesson 2 can be real when I address my clients. And that lesson is, if a pain or a condition or stressor seems to come from nowhere, then it can go back to nowhere. And that's where that kind of hurtful saying comes in, it's all in your head. For the most part, it's true. But it doesn't make the manifestation any less real for the person that experiences that pain, condition, or stressor. For me, that's things like depression, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, just to name a few. And we can talk about those later if you're interested in learning how I have clients that have been healed of each one of those. And finally, lesson 3, what you think about can manifest in your body and bring about much disease, much discomfort, or abundant healing, depending on what you think about the most. There's countless scientific studies that have proven the amazing power of the mind-body connection. And yes, it's also the foundation of many mystical, mind-blowing events. I have seen in person the Shaolin monks that have staffs broken over their necks and people walking on fire and glass. It's crazy. And just like with anything else that's amazing, there are those who don't believe in it. But they go out of their way to prove it wrong. The pendulum swinging from one extreme to the other is the reason for our eternal state of confusion. The connection I'm dealing with is right here, right now, somewhere in the middle. Take some time this week to watch the Secret of Water documentary online. Dr. Masaru Emoto's study of how our words and emotion influenced simple water molecules led me to considering how our words and thoughts affected our bodies, being 60 to 80% water, depending on who you talk to. With my work being called flow, it kind of fit. What I believe from that study is that water is like our initial energy force field on a cellular level. When we respond to the initial shock of hearing someone attack us or others with words, harmful or good, our first responder, water, takes the blow and tries to distribute it or put it out to whatever system we need to properly respond with. For example, you're a freaking lazy idiot and you're ugly and you smell bad, you don't deserve to feel good, and your mom dresses you funny. Okay. First, I'm sorry. I know I just pushed a button for somebody, and that's the point. I believe everybody hearing this gets a jolt to the system, and that jolt is our water going, hey! Some people's water said, hey! Oh, it's a demonstration. Push the no worries button. Some people's water said, hey! Oh! What the hell? Run! oh, he's just talking in general. Or, hey, oh, he knows who I am. Or, hey, I hate yelling. Or, hey, no, I'm not. Sad part is, I may lose a listener or two because I pushed the button, and that button was so deep that they need to go take a break and hide right now. The energetic, emotional button that gets pushed is what I work with. It's the causal part of healing. The effect is what's happening to you physically. If you go to chapter 4 in my book, you'll see a diagram of what I call the body fountain. It maps out some of the collection points in the body that people's buttons sometimes sends that emotion to be stored or hid. If you don't have a diagram to refer to, shoot me an email. I'll send you one. The diagram for the body fountain is unlike any other body diagram that you may see for other healing or energy flow processes. The two sides are not in particular male or female. The upper and lower portions don't necessarily have different dynamics, although the inner meaning of pain in the lower half may run deeper than the upper. This diagram represents over 45 years of work and study, but it's not rocket science. It is my experience. In all honesty, there was never a diagram before this one. To bring understanding to my work, I had to create it. And I hope you find it enlightening. Now let's look at the body fountain and start to understand how it works. The body fountain, use your imagination. It consists of 5 main parts, and it's shaped like a body, okay? But there's the upper and lower right, the upper and lower left, and what I call the sump or the filter. So when the fountain is operating at its best, there's a continuous flow of energy that begins from the ground and it flows up through the legs, where it passes through the filter into the trunk of the body, and then it branches up and out through the arms and up to and out the crown of the head. Now from there, the energy, it surrounds us as it falls back down to the ground, and it's recycled in through the whole earth system, right? So for some people, this surrounding energy, they can see it, right? I can see it. And we refer to it as your aura. You can feel it more than see it, but it's on a subconscious level, and it's nature. I mean, have you ever walked past a person and randomly felt something from them? You know, like, wow, you know, they're just glowing, or, oh my God, get away from me, your energy is so bad. Or, you know, like when you look at a pregnant woman or a woman who's about to get married, you know, and they have that glow, or a baby, you know. And how about that person that's always angry? They carry this energy around them. You can't help but call it what it is. It's energy. And when you bump into them, that's what you feel, even if you don't know them. Okay, so that glow or lack thereof is the vital energy, and it's flowing around that person. So that's what you're feeling. Now, this motion is designed to be automatic and clean and good, and for the most part it's true. But problems arise when our human mindset starts to act on this clean, pure energy flow, when we start plugging up the fountain, if you've ever seen a real fountain, one of those big ones in the city, you'll see the beauty of its creator in its design and its structure. The flow of the water around the physical structure is a vital part of the fountain's total beauty. You may not understand all the working parts, but you can recognize its beauty. Critical to the fountain's beauty and function is the maintenance of its systems. If you were to study a fountain, as you look closer, you'll find that it's subject to the environment. Dirt, dust, snow and rain, leaves and birds, even time, become things that affect the physical structure. That in turn affects the flow of water. Another thing you might notice is that it's almost invariably that people become a factor in the life of the fountain. People toss coins into it. Children throw rocks and dirt into it. Sadly enough, there are also people who intentionally try to damage that beauty. They throw soap in the fountains, even poop. I know, right? Poop. But all this to say, there's a myriad of outside influences that can play havoc on a fountain of any size if it's not properly maintained. The pump and filters need to be cleaned. In some cases, the fountain needs to be shut down for repairs. So if you take these influences and this vision of a fountain and relate them to your own body fountain, you can see that the need for maintenance is a very real thing. But for a lot of people, it's a neglected aspect of their lives. But we are affected by some of the same physical, environmental, and outside influences as a regular fountain. What makes this even more compelling is that in the case of the regular fountain, it really has no choice or way of stopping or avoiding the influences from getting into it. But your body fountain, well, it's yours. And you have control over what is allowed and what's stored in it. All of the things that can render a body fountain useless, the most damaging is not what you might expect. It's not just the external things. It is what we throw into our own fountain by the words, thoughts, and emotions that we choose to repeat and hold on to. I mean, we get dirty, plugged up, full of crap. Our flow becomes a trickle. Let me put it this way. There can be an infinite number of outside influences on our lives, from our parents to our friends, and endless circumstances and situations that can happen during our journey of life. The one thing we never lose is our ability to choose our responses. And we choose what to do with the energy of those responses, to either let it go or carry it around like luggage. It is your energetic response to an event or situation that will determine how well your fountain flows. Now think back to that water experiment. If a drop of water can be influenced by the energy it's exposed to, how much more can it affect you? 70% water with a brain and a heart. I'm just saying, it's real. Here, do this. don't close your eyes if you're driving. Okay? But right now, I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale deep, then exhale. Now do it again. Begin to feel the flow of your own fountain. How do you feel? Try not to pull in all of the thoughts of what's going on around you. Just feel yourself. Do you feel energized or sluggish? Strong or worn out? Happy or barely alive? This is a good indicator of the condition of your body fountain. If it doesn't feel good, don't worry. You can change it. As a matter of fact, you're already in the process. I truly hope this shift in direction hasn't caused anybody any kind of issues. If it has, then maybe it's a sign you need to listen more. As expected, this episode will have at least a part 2 and possibly a part 3 depending on the response. Here's another thing. Remember a few episodes back when we were talking about the 4 agreements and we talked about not taking anything personal? This is the one exception. Take this mind-body connection very personal. Once you realize the power of being the best you for you, you'll also connect the dots to your personal life concerns and a bit more insight into the life of those around you. As you self-search and find some of your own crap in the fountain, if you have it, realize that every person you meet has a fountain of their own to deal with. So, be kind always, because you have no clue what another has or is going through. Until next time, as always, this is Semaj. I leave you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. Go forth, therefore, and rejoice, and be kind to each other in the power and the peace of the infinite Creator. Namaste. Well, that wraps it up for today's episode. I appreciate you all for listening to this podcast. It matters to me. If you'd like to go deeper on any topic, I urge you to use the links in the description of this podcast. There, you can find links to my book, The C Word. You can also find these episodes on my YouTube channel under Semaj Rramal, Man at the Top of the Mountain. Also, we would love to connect with you on a Great New You website. That's www.AGR8NEWYOU.com. A Great New You. There, we offer courses to help you become a great new you, and a blog to keep you connected and informed. Finally, if you feel a personal need to get help moving ahead, I've left 2 more links here for connection calls. I'll have 30-minute connections and 1-hour personal coaching connections available via phone or Zoom. All that to let you know that you don't have to seek out the answers or move forward alone. If you're getting value from this show or have feedback, feel free to reach out to me personally at semaj@agreatnewyou.com or leave us a rating here. Thanks for listening. Namaste.